Hey, what's going on, everybody, and welcome back to another live stream edition of the World Elite Podcast. I'm your host, Dylan Abear, and with me, as always, is my tag team partner and my co-host, Jordan Johnson. Jordan, how's it going, man?
It's going great. Ready to kill it again this week.
Absolutely. I want to thank everyone for tuning in these last couple of weeks. Jordan and I feel like we've been on a roll, pushing out more content as far as YouTube shorts, as far as just video uploads and everything that we can possibly do. Jordan and I are putting in that work and doing some more stuff. As far as YouTube shorts go, we do have one dropping tomorrow from Money in the Bank. So check that out tomorrow. And we do have a second one that's going to be dropping sometime later this week, maybe Thursday or Friday. So be on the lookout for that one as well. But yes, today is our Money in the Bank prediction show. But unfortunately, we do have some things to talk about before. So why don't we jump into our first topic? Jordan, if you wouldn't mind switching over. Yes. And unfortunately, we have to start off on a sad note. A few people had their contracts not renewed, and the top one that we're talking about today is R-Truth. They did not renew a few others. They did Valhalla, who was also known as Sarah Logan, today, and they also did Carlito not long after they did R-Truth. But R-Truth was the one that caught a lot of people by surprise, including myself. Jordan was surprised, and a lot of the IWC, a lot of people backstage who worked personally with R-Truth and whatnot was really caught off guard by it. So, Jordan, before I give my take on it, I want to know what you were thinking, what you're thinking right now, as far as someone who was in a mid-card match against John Cena at Saturday Night's Main Event, who just worked on SmackDown against JC Mateo, who was his final match, and someone who just did amazing character work for years and years and years. His time with the Judgment Day, the confused persona that he gave off, not knowing that he wasn't in the Money in the Bank match years ago when Kane had to tell him. It was in New Orleans too. When Kane had to tell him that he wasn't in it, or during the Rumble match when he got the ladder out and climbed up and there was no title there, or when he entered the women's Rumble instead of the men's. The funny gimmick he had, and just just doing stuff to make people break. And that's something that he was so good for, making people break character, like he did Damian Priest a lot when he worked at the Judgment Day and whatnot. But give me your take on all of this. I mean, this is some big news that comes out. It's not every day we talk about a 50-plus-year-old not having his contract renewed, and it's just turns into big news like this. I mean, people are still talking about it to this day. I mean, happened yesterday morning, and to this day, people are still talking about it. I mean, people are not happy. So what do you think?
Yeah, no, this is it's pretty sad because he was awesome when he came out. Like, what's up? And I even did it. It was pretty awesome. The last time we saw him was at SmackDown in New Orleans when he called what was it? LA. I forgot what he called
it was LA Night, Louisiana Night. He called him.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. And then he called somebody DX. I remember in the back.
It was DIY because because Tommaso Ciampa always looked, before he shaved his beard, always looked like Triple H.
Yeah, so yeah, that's like it's really sad right now that we won't see him no more.
Yeah, I mean, before I even go into this, do you see him showing up anywhere? I know his contract's not being renewed. This means he can go show up anywhere he wants. Do you see Tony Khan even attempting it? Do you see him going to TNA, who also has a working relationship with the WWE, who, if he wants to, he could show up there if he wanted to? And I feel like if he shows up at TNA, he can keep that sort of confused gimmick. Like, he shows up in TNA, confused where everybody's at, as opposed to when he was in WWE. I mean, do you think he goes anywhere? Do you think it's all said and done, even though I think he's in great shape?
Yeah, I can see probably TNA. TNA, I don't put it. Don't no, not AEW. I don't think TNA. Yeah, I think that's gonna be a good choice if he does still go.
Right. So, yeah, whenever I heard the news yesterday, I was caught off guard. I mean, this guy is doing some of the best work of his career. Was one of the top merch sellers. I mean, anything this guy did was immediately turned to gold, and I was really caught off guard by it. I think that WWE made a terrible move, and a lot of people blaming Triple H. A lot of people are pulling, TKO into this, and I feel like it's more of a TKO move than it is a Triple H move. And I really don't think having a 50-plus-year-old on the roster who was one of your top merch sellers is any reason to make a quote-unquote business decision to not renew his contract. So I think that that's a horrible move to let him go. I think he was doing some of the best work, like I mentioned, or he came out during the Money in the Bank promo and was saying what he was going to do in the Money in the Bank, even though he wasn't even in the match. During the Women's Rumble, whenever he came out after Valhalla came out and got attacked by Nia Jax, or whenever it's the Men's Rumble and he puts the ladder up and he climbs up to it while everyone's just watching him do it instead of trying to interrupt him. I mean, I don't think there was any wrongdoing of anything that he did. And to let him go is, I think, a pretty questionable decision. Um, I know it struck a lot of people bad backstage. It's striking a lot of people bad who actually watch wrestling. And now we look at WWE's Twitter page. Anytime they post something about Raw, anytime they post something about anything right now, it is people boycotting. They're just putting a hashtag. We want truth. Rehire truth. Bring back truth. I mean, people want our truth back on the WWE roster. So I'm going to watch Monday Night Raw tonight as I'm watching the LSU baseball game later on, as they start an hour later from Monday Night Raw. But I want to see the initial reaction from the crowd with R-Truth no longer on the roster. And I know that people are upset about Carlito not coming back as well. I mean, it sucks about Valhalla as well, but I'm not seeing the uproar that I'm seeing about the other two. And I mean, what could this mean for other talent that's on their roster with their contracts coming up? The older talent that's on their roster, could they not get theirs renewed as well? So I'm waiting and seeing what's going to happen with this, because I think R-Truth, Carlito, and Valhalla is just the beginning of something not good for the WWE. Now, people were already pissed with WWE for the other releases that they did a few weeks back. Now they're not renewing a contract for one of the beloved members on the roster. And people aren't happy, including myself, including you, including others. I mean, I think it's a bad move. Before we move on, hop into a couple comments. What's going on, Bakley? Justin, your mom's tuning in. Jordan, my sister, mom. Bakley said he could see either TNA or AEW. He's hoping AEW. I disagree, because he's going to be that shiny new toy and then turned into somebody you're never going to see again. And what's going on, Tim? Thanks for tuning in as well, man. But yeah, I mean, it's all a wait and see. I think they're going to realize what a terrible decision they made, and I would hope that they decide to maybe change their mind and bring him back. But honestly, with the direction TKO is going right now, I wouldn't put it past them to just say, "Oh, we're not going to do anything." But if you're not going to do anything, if you're not going to change your mind and offer him a contract, at least give him the proper send off, because this is a man that has put in so many years for this company. There's no reason to not renew his contract and to not mention him one time at all, because this is someone who shows up every week, and whether he's doing backstage work, whether he's doing something in the ring or whatever, he is always bringing joy to everybody, whether they're backstage, if they're in the arena, in their seats, or watching it on TV. So I'm very confused by it, and for one, I'm not going to trust the process at all, because I think they made a terrible decision. But before we move on, Jordan, you got anything else to offer on it?
No, I think it's just a terrible move.
It is. So from one contract expiring from one company to another contract expiring on the other company, Mariah May has been removed from the AEW website. She is slated to make her WWE debut soon. I'm assuming. I don't know when her actual contract expires. I seen different reports. I've seen like August. It could be earlier. I don't know when the actual contract comes up. Now, I do know sooner or later the Evolution PLE is going to be happening in Atlanta the day after Saturday night's main event. I know that's a big topic of discussion right now, is to when Mariah May could debut. I don't think she goes to NXT. Maybe she does. I know NXT is losing a few people. We'll talk that on our final topic before the Money in the Bank picks. I mean, do you see her main roster bound? Do you see her going to NXT at first, maybe to help that women's division before a jump to the main roster?
Yeah, I can see her probably going to NXT first, kind of helping them out a little bit, and then probably not that long, maybe not, but then jump over to Raw or SmackDown.
Yeah, truthfully, for her character-wise, for her in the ring in general, I don't think she needs NXT, but I think that she'll go that NXT route first, like others did, like Stephanie and Jordan Grace and Julia and whatnot, people who I didn't think needed NXT, but still went that route just for a little while, and now they're main roster bound. Same thing from Mariah May. I think she goes to NXT just for a little bit, and then she's called up very quickly. She's one of those quick call-ups like we've been seeing. I do think she's making the right decision. Also, not signing back with AEW. I would assume Tony Khan maybe, or I should say, did throw her a lot of money to try and stay. But I did say on a past stream last week that it was her dream to go to WWE. She said this in the past. And I think AEW was that platform to get her there. She did it already. Because look at others who have started off in AEW with that intention of not signing back and going to WWE. And I believe that WWE could really make her a star if she's booked correctly. And that's one thing I'm worried about. Is the booking. The booking for everybody right now has been pretty rough. I feel like WWE's in a pretty rough place right now with R-Truth and the releases and TKO in general. But I think once they figure that out, I think she's going to be good. And and she's going to be fine. Bakley says she would get lost in the shuffle if she went straight to the main roster. I sort of agree with that, because with all the call-ups that are happening right now, I think NXT would be the perfect spot for her right now. And maybe that's the reason why they're calling up people so fast. I feel like I'm jumping the gun to our fourth topic with NXT, but really I feel like that's why they're calling her, or why if she goes to NXT, so it's the reason why they'd be calling up these people so fast. So maybe NXT is the prime spot for Mariah May right now. But when the time is right to bring her to the main roster. Jordan, do you think that this is the perfect move for her? Do you think she should have stayed in AEW, or do you think that WWE is the prime spot for her right now? Because I feel like that in AEW, that women's division is mainly focused around people like Toni Storm, Mercedes Moné, and honestly, not many others. I mean, like, you don't see the women getting too big an opportunity over there. Like, you don't see much of a Chris Statlander. You don't see, honestly, because I didn't watch Dynamite on Wednesday, but like people like Megan Bain, who I thought, could be something big over there. I'm not seeing much of her. It's mainly focused around the circus act they got over there with Mercedes and Tony having a dance off whenever you're focusing on women, and they're doing a dance off at the end of their promo, which I think is a big clown show over there. But honestly, do you think she made the right decision leaving AEW?
Yeah, I think she did, because right now it's just between two women or whatever, how many women for AEW. Yeah, I think she did, because right now it's just Toni Storm and Mercedes Moné and whoever else wrestles, but every week it's the same people wrestling.
Yeah, and honestly, with Mariah May, I think she's one of the few that could leave and go to WWE. One name I would love to see leave AEW and go to WWE, because they're not doing a thing with her. I'm not sure if she's hurt. I didn't hear any news if she's hurt. But where's Britt Baker at? You haven't seen her in God knows how long. I mean, let her go shine somewhere else, unless you're having something for her on the AEW roster. Let her go somewhere else. I mean, she's one of the pioneers for women's wrestling in AEW, and you're not doing a thing with her. Like I said, I don't know if she's hurt. I don't watch AEW, but I haven't seen her or heard her name in forever. So it's time to do something with her or let her go somewhere else. So that's why I think Mariah May is making the right decision and going to WWE. And she did amazing work with Toni Storm. I think she can credit Toni Storm with really putting her over as far as a big talent, and could see her doing big things in WWE for sure. Justin said NXT will be the perfect starting point for Mariah May, with Stephanie Valkyrie, possibly Jordan Grace, Julia, Roxanne called up. NXT has already made a room for Mariah. Yeah, I 100% agree. So while we're on the topic of NXT, let's hop to our main to our next topic, and that is something huge happened at the end of last week's NXT episode. Something I did not see coming, but with the news of what we're talking about in just a few minutes, I mean, for one, you could see it coming, but I didn't see as to who they put it on. And that is JC Jane defeated Stephanie Valkyrie. Yes, she had help in the match, but she still beat Stephanie Valkyrie to win the NXT Women's Championship. Now, Jordan, you were watching. I was not watching, because you texted me right after it happened, asked me if I was watching. I'm like, no, did I miss something? So I went straight to social media, and all I'm seeing is like, oh my God, people are talking about JC Jane winning the Women's Championship, and I was caught off guard by that. I'm not going to lie to you. I was caught off guard. I did not expect JC Jane to be the one to dethrone Stephanie. I said if Jordan Grace was your plan to stay in NXT, it should have been her, but it's not. Now, is JC Jane your next big talent in NXT to carry that women's division? I mean, they certainly maybe think so. Is she going to be a transitional champion, getting to maybe someone different to hold that title? I don't know. But I think they made a pretty gutsy move by putting the title on her. Jordan, what was the reaction once this all went down?
Yeah, I was shocked that she won. I looked up at the TV and I saw 1, 2, 3, and that was it. I was like, holy shit, like this is like really happening. And
yeah. Yeah, I'm in the same boat, man. I am. I was really caught off guard by this, and I mean, knowing what I know now, am I still surprised about it? I'm not surprised. I'm not so surprised about Stephanie dropping the title. It's just I'm surprised on who she dropped it to. So that's the only thing that I'm questioning right now. Is like I just asked, is JC Jane the next biggest name in NXT? I mean, because if you're looking at past members of Toxic Attraction, you had Mandy Rose, no longer with the company, Gigi Dolan, also no longer with the company. So I feel like JC Jane is that next biggest name in NXT. But I mean, you have other people there who I feel like could have been a potential better name to take it off of her. I was thinking maybe someone like I don't know, maybe Kalani Jordan could have took it off of her, Sol Ruka, I mean, Zarya. I mean, there's other people that I feel like maybe had that chance of doing it, and they went with JC Jane of all people. So,
What about Jada Parker? Maybe
her too. I mean, yeah. I mean,
yeah,
she should have been the top of anybody's list to take it off of Stephanie. So,
yeah.
the fact that they pulled the trigger on JC Jane over, like you mentioned, Jada Parker, who suddenly never even came to mind whenever I was mentioning anyone on that roster. I think that's a huge, bold move by the company. So, yeah, I'm going to trust the process with this one, see where they go with it. I don't know if she holds it for crazy long. She could be a transitional champion, could drop it soon if for one they seem to roll the dice on someone like Jada Parker. I would certainly hope they would.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, but so we're gonna stay on topic with NXT and go to something which we kind of already, kind of talked about a little bit. So we'll offer a few more on it. We offered a little bit on Stephanie, on Jordan Grace, but one person that we did not mention was Ricky Saints, who also dropped the North American Championship to Ethan Page on this past week's episode of NXT. Seems like his name is coming up a lot as far as main roster. So you have already Julia, you have called up already. Roxanne Perez, you have called up already, who are both in the Money in the Bank ladder match Saturday. Jordan Grace is also a name that's being discussed on coming up. She hasn't been officially called up, but I would assume it's coming. And then now Ricky Saints, who's also a name being talked about. And I think calling up these people so quickly, I think they're doing the right thing because if you keep names like this in NXT for too long, then you're missing the point as to what NXT even is. NXT is mainly a developmental for people who need that training, who need to work with that developmental program before you get to the bigs, to Raw or SmackDown. And these three people right here don't need NXT. Ricky Saints worked in AEW for years, who's worked with great names in AEW, who has been in NXT for a little bit now, who has held a championship already in NXT. Jordan Grace, she was on the first ever pay-per-view for AEW, I believe. I believe she was in, it was either AEW or when they did the first All-In pay-per-view, the one that Cody and the Bucks put on by themselves. She was in one of those. She was in some sort of battle royal, or maybe she was in both of them. And Stephanie Valkyria, I mean, she didn't need NXT at all, but she went there for a while. She held the Women's North American Championship, the NXT Women's Championship. She did it all in so little time, and they called her up extremely quickly. So, and now Stephanie, she has her chance to earn her spot in the Women's Money in the Bank this Saturday as well. So, I mean, you have 3 NXT call-ups potentially to be in the Money in the Bank ladder match this Saturday. You have 2 already confirmed and 1 who can earn it. And now you have Ricky Saints, who's on his way to the main roster as it stands, and Jordan Grace as well. So I believe, going back to a couple topics ago, that's why you bring Mariah May first to NXT, because if you're going to call up all these people so quickly, you got to have someone as a sort of replacement for it. So, I mean, Jordan, what do you make of these call-ups that are happening? Stephanie has already been confirmed for the Raw roster. I would imagine Jordan Grace maybe goes to SmackDown. Where do you see Jordan Grace going, and where do you see Ricky Saints possibly ending up?
Jordan Grace, maybe, let's see, probably SmackDown, and Ricky Saints, maybe Raw, maybe if he can.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to showcase a talent like Ricky Saints, I think you got to do it on, in my opinion, the A show, which is Raw. Now, if Ricky Saints was in a tag team and you're going to showcase your tag team talents, it's got to be SmackDown. SmackDown is
Yeah,
the land for tag teams right now. I mean, there's so many name over there, and I think if he was in a tag team, yeah, you obviously go to SmackDown. But Raw, I feel like he could thrive over there. Now, when does it happen? I don't know, but it happens soon. Yeah, I think it happens pretty soon. I don't think he drops that title so quickly to Ethan Page if the call up doesn't happen at some point. So Bakley says you released all those women and didn't have a plan when they decided to call Grace, Julia, Roxanne, and Stephanie up. They released quite a few women talent and had no plan in place for all these call ups. If you call up Stephanie Valkyr, Jordan Grace, Julia, Roxanne, but you're releasing people like Gigi Dolan, like Cora Jade, among others,
yeah,
what are you doing? I mean, they had zero plan in place for when they released these people, and now you're calling people up. So now you're putting the women's division in NXT kind of in a bad position and have to make other people a star when you're taking the other stars away. So yeah, I think they have some major shoes to fill whenever because Stephanie's making her actual main roster debut tonight, and Jordan Grace is sure to follow right after. Same thing with Ricky Saints. I mean, I feel like losing him in NXT. I mean, there's other big names in NXT, so I don't think Ricky Saints is going to be as big of a loss to the men's roster as Stephanie, Julia, Jordan Grace, Roxanne are going to be to the women's division at NXT. So it's all a wait and see. Sometimes I want to trust the process with WWE. Sometimes it's hard to, but yeah, NXT either way is in good hands. So let's switch over to the main topic as to why we're here, and that is Money in the Bank. And we're going to kick off right away with the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. There is one spot to be determined tonight. What we'll do is for the women's and the men's ladder match, since there is one spot that's left to be determined, we're going to pick that match first, and then we're going to pick our sole winner of each ladder match. So for the women's first, there is one match to be determined tonight. It is, let me bring it up. It Ivy Nile, Liv Morgan, and Stephanie Valkyr. So who gets in, Jordan, and who is your actual winner of the women's Money in the Bank?
I think Stephanie back here is gonna win it tonight when they get in, and I'm gonna go with Julia to win the Money in the Bank.
All right. Hey, what's going on, Straits? Appreciate you for tuning in. And Ryan is going with Roxanne to win the Money in the Bank with Naomi as a backup. So, what's going on, Dom? Appreciate you for tuning in. And yeah, man, we're going to be watching you and Justin later on COD for Monday Night Raw. So be sure to check that out, everyone, on the Circle of Debate YouTube channel. As far as the qualifying match, I am going to go with Liv Morgan to qualify for it. And for the women's, I am going to agree with Ryan on that one and go with Roxanne. I think Roxanne is the perfect one to hold that briefcase if they're going to have her hold it for quite some time. She, like, the character has it to hold that briefcase. I think Ryan's doing something with Naomi as the backup because I can see her being one to hold that briefcase for quite some time. But Roxanne, I feel like, is the one who is going to prevail as the holder of that one. So We're gonna move on to the tag team match, which I believe is slated to be the main event of the show, and that is John Cena and Logan Paul taking on Jey Uso and Cody Rhodes. Jordan, who you got?
I'm trying to go with. I guess I'll go with Jey Uso and Cody Rhodes. I,
I don't know who I'm taking
how
to this one. The thing is, I have no idea who I'm taking in this match. I really don't know.
Hard. It was hard to pick.
Because the thing is for one, you can't see Cena taking the loss or the pin, I should say, because he's on his big retirement tour. You don't see Cena taking a pin in the middle of it. And Jay can't take the pin because he's the world champion. And Cody just came back. So do you really see him take it? I feel like the only person I see taking a pin in this match is Logan Paul.
Yeah.
So I guess for that reason, I'll go Jay and Cody. I mean, unless you got something big planned for in the middle of the match or end of it, there's no particular reason to have this main event. But I don't know. I think they're in a rough spot with this one. I think they could have did something a lot bigger and better for this. A lot of people were advocating for Cena and Punk to happen during this. We know Cena would win to keep the title, but a lot of people wanted it. I mean, I would love to see it more than seeing this tag match. This tag match to me absolutely makes no sense. Why is John Cena teaming with Logan Paul? Zero reason for this match to happen. But I don't know. I mean,
it's a weird match.
It is. It's a very weird match because they made it right at the end of Saturday Night's main event. Why have this match? There's zero reason to have it. But I mean, we don't make the call here. If I was booking it, it wouldn't look like this at all. Street said any of the new call-ups would be great, but I think Naomi earned it the most. Yeah, I mean, if Roxanne doesn't win it, I would love to see Naomi hold that briefcase. And he thinks some shenanigans is going to happen, and Cena and Paul win. Cena pins Cody, builds up Cena versus Cody. I mean, could you see Cody taking a pin for the second time from Cena? I mean, yes, I know WrestleMania was some bullshit that Cena won by pinning Cody. It wasn't clean by any means, with stupid Travis Scott coming out there making zero reason to be out there. One of the weirdest and stupidest main events I've seen in WrestleMania. I mean, why? I mean, why have Cody take the pin again? Like I said, I see one person in this match taking the pin, and it's Logan Paul.
Yeah, I can see that.
I mean, yeah. Street said the money is the chase. Yeah, I mean, that's all it is now with the money, this, money, that. And Ryan said Jay has had the worst booking as a champion. Doesn't feel like he's a champ. I mean, I feel like anybody right now in WWE, if you're a champion, has weird booking. I mean, look what they did to Gunther. Gunther was one of the top names as an Intercontinental champion. His booking was fantastic. He broke the Honky Tonk Man's record as Intercontinental champion, and then you put him as world champion, and his booking is awful. Same thing with Jay. Jay doesn't need to be world champion. I mean, he had his moment at WrestleMania. But I think right now there's zero reason for him to be champion right now. So I'm thinking maybe that's why this is the main event, is maybe Jay gets his ass whipped and someone cashes in at the end. The women's champion is not being defended at this show unless they last minute book it. So I don't see any reason for the women to cash in. So if you're gonna fantasy book a cash in, it's gonna be for the men. And it's not going to be anybody targeting Cena. It's going to be someone targeting Jay. Dom says that he could see Cena possibly taking the pin only because of the tag match, and it would build the Cena Cody rematch at SummerSlam. Street says that Cena versus Punk. It's set up on Giant T for them for Money to Bank. It was a perfect event for their finale. Yeah, I mean we just talked about it on Game Breaker on COD that Cena Punk was right there. I mean, it was right in front of him on a silver platter, and then he went with this bogus tag match. Bakley says that Logan's going to pin Jay, and he said, and when Gunther actually is going to get his match, was he supposed to 2 weeks ago? Yeah. I mean, it's all weird booking right now. I for one, think that Jay doesn't need to still be world champion now. Like I said, he had his moments, and the moment's gone. Yeah. So you need that actual dominant world champion, and it's not Jey Uso, unfortunately. As much as I loved that he won the Royal Rumble and that he won at WrestleMania in a terrible way, by the way. He made Gunther, of all people, tap out to his own move, by the way. Yeah, that's not good, man. That's not good at all. But yeah, I do agree with Ryan that he's had the worst booking as a champion. It's not like he's the world champion at all. But this match makes no sense, and I guess I'll make a pick that makes absolute zero sense. That Logan Paul is going to get pinned, and I really don't care who the one is to pin him, whether it's Cody or Jay, because the others make no sense to get pinned. So if that's your main event, you got to have something go down there. And please, for the love of God, if you want the people to be invested, to have something go down there in this match, because it's going to bore a lot of people to death. All right, let's get to our next match for the Women's Intercontinental Championship, Becky Lynch and Lyra Valkyria. There is a stipulation to this. I read it said if Lynch loses, she can no longer challenge for the title as long as Valkyria is champion. As Valkyria loses, she will be forced to raise Lynch's hand and acknowledge Lynch as the better woman. What an awful stipulation that is. What are they doing? Lyra Valkyria has to raise her hand and acknowledge her. What?
This is terrible.
Now, for one, I can understand the stipulation of Becky not being able to go for the championship no more as long as Lyra is the champion. But I mean, what are they doing? This is not drawing people in with this type of stipulation. I mean, I'll go first. I think Becky wins. She didn't win at Backlash, and I think that you're setting her up to win at Money in the Bank, because if she loses, she can't go for this title no more. I mean, for one, unless you're planning for her to be world champion again one day, she's got to win this title. And honestly, the booking for Lyra has been terrible as Intercontinental Champion. The booking in general for champions, like I said, has been awful. Your two world champions are getting terrible booking. The last TV special they did, Cena didn't even defend it. It was against R-Truth, I get it, and Cena was going to win no matter what, but put the title up for grabs. So he even defended at the last show. If Becky wins, I mean, Becky is going to be the champion, I think. And please, for the love of God, give her better booking than Lyra has had as champion. Because as the first Intercontinental Champion, it has been so boring to watch. I'm sorry, for one, because Lyra's good. I mean, don't get me wrong, she's a great wrestler. But goddamn, she's stale as fuck, dude. I can't do it. So give me Becky as the champion. Maybe they'll bring some sort of shine to it, because unfortunately Lyra can't do it. Also, Bakley says, do we get Bayley back after this if Becky wins? I for one, think so. And Dom says that OGK Bayley could cost Becky leading up to a match down the line because those two don't need a mid-card belt. I agree. But for one, I can't see Lyra as champion no more. I mean, honestly, who else would take it off of her at this point? I mean, if Becky wins, then you have Becky Bayley go at it for the Intercontinental Champion at a SummerSlam, have Bayley take it off of her, and have Becky go for something bigger, because you all know that she's worth something bigger. I mean, she ain't worth the Intercontinental Championship, but if she loses again, she can't challenge for it. And Lyra's reign is going to continue. So I picked her first for Backlash. I'm picking her again. I think Becky wins. Jordan, who you got?
I'm going to go with Becky this time. because I picked Valkyria the last time, but I'm gonna go with Becky this time. And yeah, the booking's been terrible, like you said, for the champions, and I guess she's gonna be holding up Becky's arm at the end of this match.
Yeah, because why the hell not, huh? Jesus Christ. Yeah, that's the route we're going. I mean, Dom said maybe Roxanne or Stephanie is used a call of and a new talent in the IC division, the horseworm, and they're still as hell to me. Yeah, they are, man. They are still. Becky, fucking Charlotte, and Bailey and all them. Yeah, man. I mean, maybe that newer talent can do something. I mean, Stephanie's coming in. Roxanne, if she doesn't win Money in the Bank, or even if she does win it, she can still hold a title. I mean, for one, you got to bring these women in for a reason. So if Lyra ends up beating Becky, then have one of these newer talents take it off of her. And then we're getting to our final match, which will not be the main event. And I think this match could maybe play into the main event if some stuff goes down. There is one qualifying match left for tonight, and that is AJ Styles, CM Punk, and El Grande Americano. Jordan, who gets in, and who is your pick to win the 2025 Men's Money in the Bank briefcase?
I'm going with CM Punk to win the match tonight, and I'm gonna go CM Punk to win the Money in the Bank contract.
Ooh, okay. This is the first
Yeah, I
time
think
I've heard Punk's name being thrown into the winner spot. So that could either be a really good pick or a disastrous pick. So it's gonna go either one.
Be either
I
way.
mean,
Yeah,
yeah, maybe, and maybe you're up to something, or maybe not. But I'm also going CM Punk to get into this match. I don't think AJ fits into it. I think El Grande Americano has a score to settle with Penta. So, and I know he's getting ready for Worlds Collide as well, Chad Gable with Vikingo. So, they for one already spoiled that with him and Alberto, even though he did end up beating Alberto for that championship. So they are fighting out Worlds Collide, which is going to be really cool. I would have picked Worlds Collide because it is on the same day on Saturday, but I know some of those AAA names I'm not familiar with, and I know sure as hell you're not familiar with. After we're done, I can bring up the card because there are some names you do know and some I do know. So we can pick a couple once this is over. But yeah, I do see CM Punk getting into this match. It makes sense. And like Ryan said, it seems like Seth Rollins seems like the obvious choice because they could take each other out, Punk and Rollins, because they do hate each other, and they've hated each other since Punk got back. And he has taken Andrade as a surprise win, and Bakley is taken El Grande Americano to win the qualifying match to get in. Now, Bakley, are you taking him to win the briefcase or just a qualifying match? Because you didn't specify on that. So I would like to know what you think about the Men's Money to Bank. I think Punk or I think Rollins is the obvious pick because if he wins, then you could see him cashing in the same night on Jay and winning the world title and actually putting some recognition on the world championship. But I'm going with a surprise as well. I'm going with the person that should have won back in 2023, and I'm going with LA Knight. I think LA Knight's going to win this match, and I think he should have won it 2 years ago, and I think that this is the time that you give it to him. If you're not going to roll with him as U.S. champion, and if you see bigger stuff in his future, then have him win the briefcase. I think he can do great things with that briefcase. And when he wins the briefcase, then you turn him heel again. Just, I mean, just because he's heel doesn't mean the crowd isn't going to chant along with him. It's just if you're going to hold that briefcase, if you're going to go after, I mean, I doubt he goes after Cena. He's not going to cash in on Cena. If you maybe go to Raw and cash in on Jay, you've got to be a heel. I mean, you can't be a face cashing in on Jay. So it's going to go one or two ways. It's going to go Rollins winning, cashing in on Jay the same night, or it's going to be LA Knight that wins and he gets moved to Raw and he cashes in on Jay. So basically, either way, Jay's getting cashed in on. So Jay Uso, your days are numbered, in my opinion, because I don't see Solo winning. I don't see Andrade, even though that would be a huge surprise to me, and I would love if that happened, to be honest, because I think that Andrade's character, it deserves it. After those many matches he had with Carmelo Hayes when he first got there, I mean, were great. I mean, his character work has been fantastic. His in-ring work is amazing. So, yeah, Andrade would be a huge surprise, but I would love it if it happened. And for one, Penta, it's going to come one day. I think he's going to be world champion one day, but I think for some reason they're going to keep him on that mid-card level for a little bit longer. So LA Knight wins. Bakley's also taken LA Knight to win, and should have happened 2 years ago, but I think it's finally going to happen on Saturday, that LA Knight is going to be the men's Money in the Bank briefcase holder. So that will do it for our picks. I'm going to switch over to Worlds Collide just for a second because it is happening the exact same day as Money in the Bank. It's airing, if it lets me zoom in on the goddamn picture. It's so small. It's at 3 p.m. Eastern. It's happening. So let's see. There were a couple matches that I had in mind. All right. So, yeah, singles match for the AAA Mega Championship. It's Vaquinho and Chad Gable. I mean, that's the big match they're promoting. So Vaquinho retains or Chad Gable's winning it, Jordan?
I think he retains.
I think so too. I mean, he just won it, so
yeah.
I mean, why wouldn't they have him keep it? And the only other match we're going to predict, because like I said, I don't really know these people, and I know neither do you. But it's a fatal four-way for the NXT North American Championship. Ethan Page defending against Javon Evans, Laredo Kid, and Ray Phoenix.
Ethan Page.
I think if you're gonna have Ethan Page win the championship, but now he's showing up on SmackDown. I know Javon Evans was on SmackDown as well. I don't know the route they go, and Ray Phoenix is already on the main roster. It basically took it out of my mouth. I think Javon Evans wins it. I think the plan to take it off of Ricky Saints was just to get him to the main roster. And I think, honestly, I think Ethan Page is not too far behind him. So if you're going to have a young star hold that North American Championship, it's got to be Javon Evans. So Javon Evans is that winner for me. And that's the only two matches we're going to predict from Worlds Collide. There are 5 matches on the card. I do plan on watching it. I think it's going to be a really, really good show. Seeing AAA and WWE get into the mix, I think that's really cool for WWE to do something like this. Even purchasing AAA. So I think it's going to be good. Bakley's putting in his picks as well. There's a lot of these people I don't know. I'm not familiar with the AAA roster, unfortunately. So I would have did a little bit more for it if I did know more about it. But unfortunately, I don't. So, but that will do it for this live stream edition of the World Elite Podcast. We want to thank everyone who tuned in, who commented, gave their picks for Money in the Bank, gave their take on all these topics that we talked about, R-Truth, Mariah May, JC Jane, the call-ups and whatnot. And yeah, we are truly thankful for everyone who tuned in. Join us next week as we will be here, same time, same place, next Monday at 5:00 p.m. Central. I only moved to 30 minutes because we had some stuff going on before, so I thought the 30-minute window would have been better. We could have did 5 o'clock because everything we had going on ended up being a little early. So, but we kept it 5:30 since it was on all social medias. Didn't want to change it on the last minute. But yeah, next Monday at 5 p.m. Central, Facebook and YouTube. We'll be covering the recap of Worlds Collide, Money in the Bank, maybe a few topics. Praying no more negative topics come in before Monday, but if it does, we'll be talking about it. Hopefully, some positive stuff that we can talk about as well, and hopefully, for the love of God, give us something good from Money in the Bank to talk about. Because as much as we gave some negative stuff on Money in the Bank, I hope they prove us wrong and they give us a good show. I'm looking forward to it. Regardless, I'm praying for a good show. I think it'll be a good show. Before that, Jordan, your excitement level on a scale from 1 to 10, what you got?
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go 9.
Oh, a 9. Wow. Because of the card, I guess, because of who's in each Money in the Bank, and even though I'm not loving this tag match, also I'll go with an 8. I think it'll be a good show. And yeah, you heard my dog bark, and she was fucking bound to bark. We went almost a whole show without any noise from her, and she gave it right at the end, so it was coming. But yeah, I'm going with an 8. I think it's gonna be a good show. I'm praying for a good show. I always pray for a good show, no matter what I watch. So, but yeah, join us next week as we give our full take on Money in the Bank, Worlds Collide, other topics. Social media first, you can find the podcast at Worldly Pod, myself at Dylan Neighbor _ Jordan at Jordan _ J2000. You can find us also on Instagram, on Facebook. The audio versions of this podcast can be found on any major audio platform as far as Apple, Spotify, our main distributor, Spreaker, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, wherever you listen to a podcast. The sponsorships and affiliates can be found in the description of this video. Way too many names. I'm not even going to try it. But go check them out. Go give some support. We also have merch out. I do plan on dropping more merch at some point. I understand there's no merch with our brand new logo on it. That will change at some point in the next few days. There will be some new stuff up. Jordan actually brought up a cool idea about hats for the show. So yeah, I actually love the idea. So you'll see more merch, some t-shirts, hats, other stuff you can purchase on the site. That's also in our description of the video as well. So go check that out. But that will do it. We hope everyone enjoys Monday Night Raw, enjoys NXT, AEW, SmackDown, Collision, and Money in the Bank and Worlds Collide. And we will see you all next week. Y'all have a great day.